Okay, so good morning, guys. Let's start our today's class. So last class, I think we finished about all the importance why we need to conserve and all those points. In today's class, we are going to understand about the conservation. Okay, what are the different types of conservation and all that. Okay, so let's start. Yeah. So when we talk about conservation, conservation is more about like जो भी एक्सटिंक्ट स्पीशीज है थ्रेटन स्पीशीज है उन सबको कंजर्व करना है हमको करेक्ट सो बेसिकली वी हैव डिवाइडेड कंजर्वेशन इनटू टू टाइप्स इन situ and ex situ so the conservations are divided into two types that is let me just yeah in situ and ex situ. Now, in situ means same habitat. That means we are going to conserve the animal or the plant, whatever it is, whichever the type of organism it is, we are going to conserve them in their own habitat. And in that, we have first, which is hotspots, and the second category that we have is of protected areas. Now, in protected areas, we have divided, like we have different types, as in we have national parks, we have wildlife sanctuaries, and we also have biosphere reserves. Now, this is about in situ conservation. Now, when we go for the ex situ conservation, we will look for the things which we have made. Just let's take example जो हमारे पास ये है zoo है. Zoo में what we are doing? We are getting animals inside that area to conserve them, to protect them. So here we have something like we are going to remove them from their original habitat and we are going to bring it to a particular place where we are going to conserve them. तो उसमें वी हैव टू कैटेगरीज बेसिकली एक जो सीड बैंक्स की कैटेगरी में आता है जहाँ पे वी आर गोइंग टू स्टोर थिंग्स प्रिजर्व करके रखेंगे या कंजर्व करके रखेंगे मेजरली जो भी एक्सटिंक्ट स्पीशीज है उनके सीड्स प्लांट्स में स्पेशली द प्लांट्स दैट आर हैविंग सीड्स we are going to conserve their seeds and etc. Now here we also include sorry here we also include tissue culture and hybridization technique where we are going to mix two different breeds. Clear? Now next we have the other category proper जैसे कि हम लोग को देखने मिल जाती हैं सीड बैंक्स में you can't actually go and do things right but when we look for botanical gardens zoological park and aquarium and others there we can actually play the role for doing things. Is it clear? Okay, chalo. Let's move ahead. So now let's talk about all the different types. So first we will start with the hotspot. Now hotspot is something which is based on your geographical areas, correct? Now here, if we look to our previous class, I said you guys that hotspots are 36 because abhi currently we have 36. But NCRT में it is given 34 hotspots, so we are going to go with 34 for now because we have to stick to the NCRT. So we have total 34 hotspots, जिसमें से 25 were already existing and 9 hotspots were added later. Now when I talk about in India we are having actually 4 different hotspots, but in our again NCRT they have given us 3 hotspots, which is like naam yahi hai, but they have mentioned it in the number of 3 rather than saying it as 4. So we have Western Ghats, we have Himalayas, we have Indo-Brahma, and then we have Sundalands. In the NCRT, they have mentioned Sri Lanka. So just remember that as well. Chalo. Now when we talk about national park, what we are going to do in the national park is nothing but basically we are going to protect them in that particular area, right? So there both flora and fauna are going to be protected and it comes under the government. So it comes under the government. So government is the one who's going to look for the national parks and all, right? Now the first national park was Jim Corbett National Park, which is in Uttarakhand. Okay, and total India mein we are having 90 national parks. Again, 90 is mentioned in NCRT, but if we normally look for, we have total 106. Next, so these are the names of some national parks that we have. जैसे कि we have Kaziranga National Park, which is in Assam, which we already know is famous for your one-horned rhino, elephant, and gibbon. I hope you guys know what is gibbon. Yeah. Chalo. Next. Next we have Sundarbans, which is in West Bengal, which is famous for the Royal Bengal tiger, dolphin, and crocodile. Then we have again the same Jim Corbett National Park, which is famous for again Royal Tiger, elephant, panther. We have Samba deer, chital deer, wild bear, and nilgai. So the photo which is displayed here is the photo of nilgai. This is how the nilgai looks like. Okay, we place it back here. Yes. Now, when we talk about the Gir National Park, which is in Gujarat, so there the major point of attraction या majorly जिसके लिए वो park बना था was lion. Then we also have there sambar, nilgai, fawn-horned antelope, and chinkara. Chinkara is this the mini deer-like structure. The difference is iska, if you'll see the horns are very differently designed naturally, and इनके horns का भी अच्छा importance होता है. That's why they were earlier hunted as well. Poaching and hunting hota tha, but now it is banned. Let's move ahead. Yeah, next we have wildlife sanctuaries. We are having total 448 wildlife sanctuaries, and these wildlife sanctuaries do not have any well-defined boundaries. So first is Annamalai Sanctuary, which was earlier named as Indira Gandhi Wildlife Sanctuary, but now it is called Annamalai Sanctuary, which is in Coimbatore, which is famous for elephant, tiger, and all the normal organisms that we have. Here we are just going to look for what are the names of the wildlife sanctuary, which you have to remember basically. Limited here, we can remember that. Next we have Kaldev Kanha Bird Sanctuary, which is in Bharatpur, Rajasthan. It's Kola Dev, sorry. Then Mudumalai Wildlife Sanctuary, which is Nilgiri district में Kerala के. And then we have Periyar Sanctuary, which is in Kerala. Again. So Kerala is having a very good, diversification of all the organisms. They're having a lot of national parks and all those things. It's really good place to go. You guys should really go there. Next is, let's talk about biosphere. So in NCERT, biosphere is given 14, and in the previous class we learned was like 18 or something. So we'll go with the NCERT. Here the things are divided into zones. Biosphere में क्या होता है basically, एक particular area होगा, उस area में सब लोग directly नहीं जा सकते. There are certain zones जहाँ तक हम लोग जा सकते हैं, एकदम deep down you cannot go. Okay, so here the zones are divided into core zone, buffer zone, and transition zone. So core zone is somewhere where there is no human activity allowed. Basically, you can't go inside at all. Then we have buffer zones, जहाँ पे थोड़ा बहुत human activity is allowed, and then we have transition zone where there is a joint association of local people and the government authorities who are going to take care of that area. So they are going to have a team cooperation and they are going to work. Next we have Ramsar site. Now what is Ramsar site is, basically in Ramsar site we have discussed about the wetlands. Now wetlands में यहाँ पे हम लोग we are not writing as wetlands and why Ramsar site, because जो उसके लिए कंजर्वेशन एक्ट से उसके लिए जो भी डिसीजंस लेने थे, उसके लिए जो एक गेट टुगेदर हुआ था, वो हुआ था ईरान में in Ramsar, and that's how the name Ramsar site has been given. And India में total 75 sites है as on November 2022. Next are sacred groves. Now sacred groves क्या है, basically the places which have a bit of like certain type of spiritual beliefs या religious beliefs, उसको हम लोग sacred groves बोलते हैं. Majorly sacred groves में we are having lot of hilly and valley areas. वहाँ पे trees को भी हम लोग sacred trees बोलते हैं. ऐसे बहुत सारी चीजें हमारे पास, right? Majorly here you have to remember these 4 things, which is Meghalaya का we have to remember Khasi and Jayanta hills. Rajasthan we have Aravalli hills. Karnataka and Maharashtra we have Western Ghats, and in Madhya Pradesh we are having Sarguja, Chanda and Batsar area. These all places are termed as sacred groves. Okay, now next that we have to discuss is about, so with that last part we finish the in situ conservation के topics. Then we have something called as ex situ conservation. अब ex situ conservation में if we look for, we have first categorized as seed का categories था, right? So seed में हमारे पास क्या है, seed bank में we are having orthodox seed and reclatant seed. Okay, so orthodox seeds क्या है, the one which can tolerate moisture content up to 5%, temperature by -10 to -20 degree तक, and these are the two major things जिसकी वजह से seeds को issue हो सकता है. तो इस category में we are going to store the seeds which can tolerate these two things. Example है cereals and legumes का. Second is recalcitrant seed which cannot tolerate the above two conditions. Okay, hence they are going to have the shorter lifespan. So उनको हम लोग limited time के लिए ही store कर सकते हैं, ज़्यादा time के लिए store नहीं कर सकते. Now the farmers and all, they really use all these types of seeds from the seed banks because of the green revolution. We have got a lot of techniques with which we can increase the agricultural yield, and hence it is very helpful. So example है इसका coconut, jackfruit, cocoa, etc. Now the place where this type of seeds are maintained is known as orchards. क्या बोलते हैं उसको हम लोग? Orchards. Okay, और वहाँ पे example दिया हम लोग अगेन लीची, oil palm, etc. Now the next topic that we had was tissue culture. So tissue culture में क्या, basically here you are going to do things in the lab grown. ठीक है, what we are going to do, we are going to have a plantlet का I am going to take tissue को I am going to provide the nutrient medium in the test tube. Okay, then you will see an undifferentiated growth. Which is called callus. Then callus will grow into like root and stem दिखेगा अपने को. And then that root and stem will form seedling, and we will plant that tree. Plant it and you will get the tree basically, right? This is something which we have already learned in the previous classes. हाँ, वो मिस हो गया था ना. सॉरी फॉर द इंटरप्शन. चलो लेट्स कंटिन्यू. हाँ, तो टिश्यू कल्चर के बाद हम लोग ने क्या लिखा था? hybridization, right? Hybridization is nothing but mixing of two different species to form new variety of species. Correct? That is hybridization. Okay. Now let's talk about the biodiversity conservation in India. There are certain acts that we have to remember. Basic है, मतलब इतना ये नहीं है, but we can just go through it. Yes. So one we have, which is Forest Reservation Act, which is in 1980. Then we have Wildlife Protection Act 1972. Then we have Environment Protection Act 1986. We have one more, which is National Biodiversity Strategy and Association Plan, which was in 2000. Then we have Biological Diversity Act, which is most recent among it, which is in 2002. Now, Indian projects are, because since we are having a lot of species which are getting extinct and are endangered and all, so we have come up with a lot of different projects. ठीक है, सबसे first project was Tiger project, जिसमें we are going to look for conserving them. Since tiger का number is constantly decreasing, that's why we have come up with that project. Then we have Gir lion project. Now Gir forest में भी lion का जो population था initially, उसमें और अभी में it is a very big difference, and because of that we came up with that project also, where we are going to try to conserve as many lions possible. Then we have crocodile breeding project, which is in Odisha. Then we have rhino conservation project, and then we have snow leopard project, which was launched in 2009. Now, ये सब जब चल रहा था, so there was an international summit which happened in Brazil, which is Brazil. It happened in Rio de Janeiro in 1992, which was signed by 152 countries, and it came in effect on 29 December 1933. Okay, then another again one summit occurred in 2012, जिसमें इन्होंने ग्रीन पीस के बारे में डिस्कशन किया. सेम रियो डे जेनेरो में ही हुआ था वो. Next, there's one more summit that we have to remember, which is World Summit. See, understand, this is Earth Summit, Earth International Summit है ये, and ये वाला जो है ये World Summit Act है. ये ब्राज़ील में है, ये साउथ अफ्रीका में है. दोनों में कंफ्यूज नहीं होना है. Understood? So World Summit Act in South Africa, which was in 2002, and uska effect started in 2010. So that's all we had in this chapter, which was biodiversity and conservation. Clear? So with this we are finishing this chapter, and in the next class we will start with the new chapter, which is origin and evolution. Also we will solve its DPPs and all, which we will discuss later. Okay, see you. Bye.